Continuing my remaster of my Megaforce rewrite 3 years later, inspired by a fan. Next season, Pirate Armada. No time to celebrate the destruction of the world-ending drills or defeat of Rak, because his empire has arrived with their armada. We cut away for a bit to see someone grabbing the Mighty Morphin Red Ranger key. Cutting back, and the Megaforce Rangers are getting absolutely walloped by this invasion of the Zangak. Even the Gosei Megazord is destroyed. So the team is forced to retreat as the sky is literally coated in Zangak ships. I guess they just needed to regroup.
I'm gonna meet your doom!
Hey, where's Robo Knight? Wait a minute. Pirate Rangers! Set sail! The Pirate Rangers are doing very well against the X-Borgs. Cutting space side, we see the White Chariot and the commander of the fleet, Prince Vakar. He's glad about the success of the first wave of the invasion, and Argus readies the second wave. Chief Scientist Levira apologizes to Vakar that his older brother Rock must have fallen in battle. And Vakar clearly couldn't care less. Cause now it's my time to shine, to show I can conquer this stupid world unlike my stupid older brother, and prove myself to Emperor Dad. Just for Head General Damaris to show up saying they're facing some significant resistance. Cutting back Earthside to see the Rangers. Showing off unique fighting tactics, including even tossing each other's weapons to each other. So blue is more effective with swords, and green is kinda silly but very good at shooting. The real Megaforce team makes it back to the base, finding the Ranger keys have all been stolen, and for some reason only Jake's monitor was smashed. Robo Knight was badly hurt in the escape, so Dadis looks over him and Gosei explains on the screen they know where the Ranger keys are at. Showing on the screen, go Samurai, and they become Samurai Rangers. Then cutting back in person with them going, magical source, mystic force. They might get knocked out of it quick by the general, so they take him out with a final wave. Levira and Argus go plant side to taunt them, sending more X-Borgs after them. So they go, RPM, get in gear, and Supersonic Ranger. I'm very much of two minds when it comes to using the non-adapted Sentai teams. I kind of want to use them and explain away why they exist, but I also want to keep them to the very minimum. So instead of Dynaman, they stay as RPM. So when they go Supersonic, you have the green pirate saying something like, oh, these guys are alien rangers. And the yellow pirate saying, shut up, Donnie. Giving a little hint to who the pirates are, while also making the universe feel a little bigger that there are more ranger teams in the galaxy. And totally not a way to use more Gokaiger footage without having to edit it. But before they go Megaforce, we see Jake and Gia grabbing the keys from them, using their card powers as the pirates go back to base form. The Mega Team quick morphs, and the green pirate's like, oh, those must have been the guys we stole the Ranger keys from. Yellow pirate's like, yeah, man, wait, why'd you say that out loud? You just admitted it. The villains just leave. The red pirate introduces himself as Captain Marvelous, says the fight is over, so return the keys. Just for Gia to say that the keys belong to us, and you stole them, and Marvelous rebuts with, we stole them for a good purpose. The green pirate saying, yeah, we needed them to fight the Zangak. Troy apologizes and says, can you at least let us have our silver key so we can revive our friend Robo Knight? Saying that we need the powers to protect the world. And Marvelous refuses because they need the powers to protect the entire galaxy from the Zangak. So the yellow pirate tells them to buzz off. This really upsets Gia and Jake. Troy really tries being diplomatic, but nothing gets through Marvelous, so Troy throws the first punch, leading to the two teams fighting. Vakar witnesses this and cheers, yes, let the Earthlings fight amongst each other as we invade, haha! The two teams are pretty equal, well other than the Green Pirates kind of a joke compared to Jake. Leading to both teams using their finishers, which causes a big explosion, knocking both teams out of their Ranger forms. Revealing that the pirates are actually humans, and Gia makes a "you're human" reference to In Space. Green Pirate's like, actually, we're from Miranoi. I'm a native there, everyone else is human, but you guys are really strong. The yellow pirate smacks him. Why not just reveal everything to them? And don't admire them. But then a giant red galleon flies across them, and the pirates make their escape before the Mega Rangers could do anything. On board, we quickly learn the names of the rest of the pirates: Joe the Blue Pirate, Luka the Yellow Pirate, Donnie the Green, Bailey the Pink. They also have a robot bird named Navi, which is short for Navigation and Fortune-Telling Mechanical Avian. The pirates made it pretty far from the Mega Team, so Luka suggests they use Navi's fortune-telling. And Donnie's like, yeah, sure, what could possibly go wrong? They start up just for Navi to hit their head, so the message comes out all cryptic. A person dressed in black will provide the information you seek. So heading down to the city, and that doesn't narrow it down at all. On the White Chariot, Damaris reports about last episode. Vakar is very dismissive and doesn't care about the pirates. They're just a minor nuisance. Damaris thinks this is underestimating their power, which upsets Vakar so much he says he's going to promote whoever comes in that door to being a general. Then the IT guy walks in asking for the Wi-Fi password, so Vakar immediately promotes him to field general. Get out there! Back with the pirates, they pawn off one of Bailey's jewels so they can get some burgers, but this gets interrupted by explosions. With the White Chariot flying across the city, spouting out some propaganda, introducing the planet to they are the Zangak Empire, he is Prince Vakar, and if they don't surrender now, then we're gonna level the city. Even a rarity for Power Rangers, we show off the military, but they are no match against the X-Borgs. The Power Rangers try walking away from it, but then they just start thinking. Luka's saying that this planet can't stand up to them without Rangers. As we cut away, seeing the Mega Team dealing with some X-Borgs, saving some people, and Mr. Burley cowering away in his office, all scared. Joe stating that Earth will become an Imperial colony, which Bailey states just like Miranoi was. Marvel is adding, our lunch was ruined, so we're in a bad mood, and so was everyone else's lunch. So let's stop the Empire, such as the way as the pirate. They morph and they fight, saving people and effectively dealing with the Zangak. Well, except for Donnie, who goes Samurai Red and then get instantly smacked away. They regroup and go SPD emergency against the tentacle guy, then Ninja Storm Ranger form, finishing him off with Forever Red. But Levira shows they have a new way of growing monsters that can even do multiple at once. So Marvelous summons the Red Galleon, and we show off the Pirate Zords, until they form the legendary Pirate Megazord. It's a lot more agile than you would think. Monster tries grabbing him from the back, spinning the thing on its back, which only reveals its cannon. Then keyholes appear on the steering wheels that control the Megazord. They insert their keys, charging up a Starburst attack. After dealing with the monster, they go up into space and deal with the Zangak fleet, which scares Vakar into retreating to Mars. Megazord folds back into the Red Galleon. The pirates go back to the town and try asking around with a megaphone about the Man in Black, introducing themselves as Power Ranger pirates, and everyone looks at them weird. Back with Vakar, the fleet repositions themselves back around the moon, and Damaris reports that the pirates took out half of their fleet. I told you we shouldn't have underestimated the pirates. Vakar is very upset and beats up some X-Borg, screaming to wipe that from the data. Meanwhile, the pirates set sail again, but then we see someone in black with the Mystic Force symbol. The pirates get surprise attacked and shot down. Making it worse, the monster of the week separates the team. Marvelous and Donnie are in the woods, and they meet the guy in black, who turns out to be Chip, the Mystic Force Yellow Ranger. The others are fighting the Zangak, going forever black. Chip introduces himself, explaining that Mystic Force is one of the previous Power Ranger teams. Donnie somewhat recognizes him from the keys, showing him the Mystic Green Key. And Chip says he'll help them unlock the full potential of the Mystic Force keys, but first they have to chase him, as he seemingly walks into a tree, disappearing. Donnie's very excited, growing up with Miranoi belief in magic, but Marvelous thinks this is idiotic. Donnie asks, do you think this is a trap? And Marvelous is like, oh yeah, this is definitely a trap. But the idiotic part is the fact that magic does not exist. explained that growing up his father was a scientist before they went on the run from the Zangak, so he does not believe in magic. But Twitter does, so he grabs his arm and they run through the tree going into a mystical land. Meanwhile, the Mega team that helped being repaired a school, and Noah questions, where's Mr. Burley? He opens the door to his office and he's all scared in the corner. With Noah saying that the robots are gone, he doesn't have to hide now. But Mr. Burley's still horrified that they might return. Just give him a couple days. He needs to be alone. Back with Marvelous and Donnie, they end up in a cave. And they get Indiana Jones and have to run away from a giant boulder. Running away from it. But then Donnie has the bright idea to jump towards the boulder. One of their pirate sabers falls out of their pockets, and the boulder is lifted into the air over them because of it. Eventually, the boulder dissipates, revealing that it was a magical illusion. Donnie tries saying, "See, magic!" And Marvelous is like, "It's dark in here. It's probably just still rolling." With the other Rangers, they go Forever White to deal with the monster. But now, as their final task, Marvelous and Donnie have to leap a giant gourd and prove they believe in magic. Donnie gets a big stick and he pole vaults, screaming that he believes in magic. And then he gets grabbed by the monster. Donnie now hanging for his life against the cliffside with the monster near. Marvelous jumps after to save his crewman, saying that he believes in magic. Grabbing Donnie, he tries climbing up. He's slipping until Chip grabs him and pulls him up, saying that the courage he just showed to save his team is the true meaning of magic. And by tapping into the true power of the past Power Rangers, you can truly save this world. Everyone meets back up, and they go Magical Source, Mystic Force, with the Mystic Force theme playing in the background as they defeat the monster. And because they unlock the true potential of Mystic Force, they get the legendary Mystic Dragon Zord and the legendary Mystic Force Megazord. As the pirates fly away on the Red Galleon to their next adventure, we see a familiar face on a motorcycle right into town. The episode opens with the Rangers testing out different Ranger keys to see what they will do with the Megazord. Starting with Power Rangers Jacka, which Donnie introduces as another alien team. There's a crowd watching and embarrassing. Trying again with the Aquatar Ninja Rangers and Lightspeed Rescue, okay. Even the crowd gets bored by this. With the Zangak, Damaris introduces that the Emperor sends Katana, a member of the Emperor's Special Sword Force, some of the greatest sword fighters in the galaxy. He proves his skill by cutting up an apple, which Vakar says is one of the most delicious ways to defeat the Rangers. As Joe and Bailey are going for a grocery run, they see Katana, and him and Joe recognize each other. So he morphs and jumps into the action. The rest show up, but Joe takes on Katana by himself until he gets hit with his infinite sword technique. Argus is watching on the screen and he can somewhat recognize both of them, but he doesn't know why. The rest of the team finds Joe defeated, and Katana just leaves them, saying that Joe isn't even worth it. The team makes dinner, but Joe is nowhere to be seen. Bailey looks for him, finding him in the nearby bamboo forest practicing. She's concerned about him as he's clearly hurt, but Joe just keeps repeating that he has to do this, and getting upset when Bailey tries prying in. Later that night, she tries talking to Luka about Joe, and it turns out Luka knows about Joe's backstory. Before he joined the pirates, he used to be part of the Special Sword Squad. So this is very personal to Joe. You just gotta have to let him work it out himself. The next day, Joe is walking across the beach looking for his katana. He arrives as Bailey's secretly watching behind some rocks. The two fight, infinite sword technique, but then as Joe is actually winning, until ambush and he gets held in place by three bruisers. Bailey's standing up saying, "What?" Katana is saying that there's no rules in a fight. But before he can finish off Joe, if he's gonna cheat, then might as well cheat back, so the pirates show up shooting him. So Joe continues the fight with Katana as the rest go Jungle Fury, then SPD to fight the small fries, tossing over their pirate sabers so he can have the 5-sword technique of friendship, taking out Katana with a Forever Blue final wave. When he grows giant, he tries escaping, so they chase after him. and after he's defeated, Joe bakes a cake of friendship. Seeing this getting reported on the news actually inspires Mr. Burley to come out of his office, and like all the kids in the class are cheering that he's back. He gives a speech about saying that humanity is strong together with our friends and determination will overcome this mechanical nightmare, which also gets the Mega Team thinking, asking Gosei why are the Pirate Rangers a thing, which he explains that as he learned from his mentor Zordon to always have backups. The Pirate Rangers, morphers, and stuff were designed as a backup in case any Power Ranger needed to transform into their form, but their morpher was destroyed or something. So the Mega Team comes up with a plan to try and get the pirate powers back, to use the Robo Knight key to revive him. So the Megaforce team loads up on the Mega Dragon Zord and they fly off. But before they go, Troy knows that they're going to need at least someone to stay behind to save the town. So he recruits former bully, now friend, Roy, to become the new Green Megaforce team member. The episode opens with Donnie quizzing Joe about the Ranger keys and where they're from, like Wild Force. They get their powers from the Animarium. And then this is also another way we can introduce the Sentai Rangers, like Denji Man, they're aliens. Thunder Squadron, they're from another universe. Prism, also from another universe. And Luka interrupts this by saying it turns out their bounties went up, and some Zangak ships fly above, dropping off flyers showing the wanted posters, and Donnie's like, oh my, this looks nothing like me. But Marvelous couldn't care less about either, so he uses Navi's fortune until they hit their head, so it's cryptic. There's something you wish to find, maybe check the police station. So they scope it out, and some of the police officers start kind of recognizing from the flyers that just dropped by, until a portal opens up and hops out Doggy Kruger from SPD, introducing himself and saying that the pirates are under arrest. Marvelous scoffs, saying that the space police are so desperate for funding they'll even work with the Zangak. No wonder Earth only has Space Patrol Delta and not Alpha. Kruger says he might be part of Space Patrol Delta, but they're under arrest for other reasons, namely they are stealing powers from the morphing grid, and those keys are not theirs. So Luka suggests a secret technique of running away. Doggy manages to handcuff Marvelous, but as Doggy is starting to consider using the minor racing camera, Marvelous manages to escape, so he instead goes after Marvelous, leaving the cops at the station in shock about the giant dog coming out of the portal. This leads into an unmorphed fight between Marvelous and Kruger. Marvelous tries getting his handcuffs cut, but Doggy's able to stop himself from cutting them. But in this moment of pause, they actually hear something in the warehouse. Turns out the Zangak are going to use some of the same type of drills that Vrak used, but as the weapon dealer and Rivera reveal, the drills are very expensive, so these are the final drills they have in the entire galaxy. So Kruger says Marvelous to sit and stay, and he'll deal with the Zangak. Meanwhile, the other Rangers found the Zangak, so they go RPM, get in gear. Then the 4 turn into the Titanium Ranger and the 4 Spirit Masters, the 4 Power Ranger originals. Meanwhile, Doggy's not doing super hot, so Marvelous jumps in to rescue him. Kruger questions why Marvelous saved him, and Marvelous explains that his father taught him an honor code. He might be a pirate, but he's traveled his entire galaxy to protect the innocent. Kinda like what you're supposed to. So he finally gets the cuffs unlocked, everyone meets up, and we get an SPD emergency. SPD tribute, the SPD theme in the background. When he goes giant, the weapons dealer tries slamming the drill into the ground, but the pirates grab it and send it to the Zangak. And for protecting the innocents, they unlock the full potential of the SPD and get the new legendary SPD Zord and Megazord. They have one of the coolest Zord fights in the entire franchise. That morning, out from another portal, Sky appears in red. So at this time it would be Sky's red, Bridge is blue, Lena San is green, Sophie is yellow with Z retiring to raise a family, and Sid is still pink. Either way, it's revealed that Sky has completely pardoned the Pirate Rangers, so the Zangak bounties will not be enforced on Earth. Another food run, but Luka sees a special ring she really wants. Donnie's confused by this because we keep pawning off Bailey's rings. If you want one so bad, just ask her for one. But before she can respond, a rich lady comes in and just buys the whole store. She didn't even want the ring, she just wanted the space to store her stuff. Luka yells at her until the rich girl's dad shows up. He's all like, if you want the ring, you gotta have to earn it. So Luka becomes their janitor, and despite being rich fancy people, they are absolute slobs. With the dad complaining about literally everything. And he also shows off they're rich because they have money growing on trees. Literally, this golden tree. Which the Zangak hear about and really want, so they send a master of stealth to go in and get it. Shenanigans ensue. Luka then finds a dirty old bunny plushie and doesn't really think about it because it's under a bunch of other stuff, so frozen in the trash, until the rich girl finds it and gets super upset and fires Luka on the spot for doing it. Until they find the monster sneaking in. After some shenanigans, Luka morphs and then goes overdrive yellow, sending him flying. The rich girl apologizes and explains Mr. Bunny was her only childhood toy growing up. She was incredibly poor until her dad found the gold tree and an asteroid. Later that night, Luka's very conflicted about the privileged girl who came from nothing and is now just loaded. So her and Joe have a heart-to-heart where they kind of understand that sometimes people don't understand what they have until they lose it. The next day, the monster arrives and sets the mansion on fire. The pirates arrive to deal with them as Luka heads in and goes, save the rich family. They make out fine, so Luka goes lightspeed rescue to try and save their stuff. As the rest of the team go Jacka to save money, Luka was able to put out the fires. And most importantly, she was able to save Mr. Bunny, which gets the rich girl realizing they don't need all this chains and jewelry and money and stuff. This bunny gave me way more joy growing up than all this money put together. As also ironically, the mansion fire burned the tree. And Luka explains she didn't want the ring just to wear, she wanted to resell it because she ultimately wants to make an orphanage. Because Luka grew up in poverty and raised a bunch of orphans after her parents died in the crash landing of Terra Venture into Miranoi. She joined the pirates after she was rescued by Joe. The kids she looked after are hopefully safe with the resistance on KO-35. So Luka goes turbo yellow and meets back up with the rest, and they defeat the monster. And wrapping up, it turns out the family gave the ring to Luka, and they used the rest of their surviving money to move back into that jewelry store to open it up again, now knowing the value of the stuff they have. Make sure to hit that like button and the subscribe button for the rest of the series.